to this new edition for this season, the Coaches Show for basketball season here at Clark Montessori High School. My name is Patrick Lewis. Thank you for joining us again. And our wonderful Coach Parker. Welcome joining us, sir.
Patrick, good to see you again.
Oh, this is great.
We're back, man.
We're back. We're like the dynamic duo,
Yeah.
right? We're some good dynamic duos that you know that we can relate ourselves to.
You know, Superman and, whoever he hung out with, obviously Batman and Robin. And, as a kid, I used to watch Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Man, I thought that was my generation. You're a little older than me. I thought
you probably had the new stuff. Like, I had the old G.I. Joe stuff with, Flint and... obviously the G.I. Joe and Cobra Commander and all those good, those good, before they were
Cobra,
all really digitized and all that stuff, and Lady Jane, so it was
right. Yeah, I dig it all. I dig it all. So, let's get to business what we're here for. Let's talk about basketball, dude. Your team this year, you got a lot of new faces.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it. I mean, two people on your roster this year are the only people that were on your roster last year that are starting. So you're basically getting brand new faces.
Yeah.
In other words, Deshanti's probably going to start again.
Yes.
But give us some idea about what kind of things to expect from this year's team.
Well, unless you have a roster, or have been around practice, you're going to need one to know some of the new faces and the new characters. Obviously, Deshanti Hawkins, is back for us. Probably our second most experienced guy that's played for us here at Clark, back on varsity. Noah Mason has played a lot the last 2 years, so he will be back for his junior year. But
not on varsity though, right?
He played his at the end of the year, his freshman year, and then all year his sophomore year for varsity. So he's coming back for his junior year on varsity, and outside of that, you may not know a lot of the names. I mean, obviously, our best player, we get back after having to be out a year, Jacob McElfresh, and I'm just excited for him to be able to get back on the floor, and no one's more excited than he is, and he is going to surprise a lot of folks at how good he is. He didn't just sit around for the year. He actually
did some off-season work.
Yeah, he actually put on about 20 pounds of muscle.
Woo!
He's worked on his. He handles the ball a lot better. He drives to the bat. He's more explosive. He grew an inch. He grew
an inch.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the one he's most proud of, right? That's the one he worked hardest for.
He's always had a great shot, but now he has all the other tools around it. So he's going to be especially hard to guard. And then we got some new faces coming up to the varsity level. Miles Faison is going to be key for us. Brazil Moore is going to be really key for us. We bring back Sinjin Collins after taking a year off for baseball. He's back in the mix. Gideon Thomas as a junior, long, wiry, leaper. And then we got two freshmen, coming in that are going to contribute right away, and Sean Ely, and then Gideon's younger brother, Micah Thomas, who is our tallest player at 6'5" this year, and you talk about a kid that can just jump out of the gym. So we're excited about these young cats.
Great job, naming some players there. I'm really excited. You named off a couple of them, and I know them, and it's going to be great to see how they respond, especially some of these freshmen. I mean, we had such a great freshman class last year. There's a lot of expectations for them coming into the varsity season. I mean, just bypassing JV and coming up and saying, you know what, coach, I'm ready to play, put me in.
Yeah, normally, if I had my way, they would be on JV, but they've really done a great job of saying, hey, we're ready now, and that's great because we need them to be ready now. And the best thing about freshmen is they become sophomores someday, and on and on and on. So we're excited about the future. I mean, there's other guys that you may see. Jordan Napier, who's a sophomore this year, is going to get some time. Nice long wiry guard that we have as well. And then some of the younger guys like Tyron Davis, as a freshman.
He's also a big football player.
Right, a big football guy as well. I might see some time on the varsity level. So we got a lot of young guys, and it makes for some hungry practices. There's always if you may have a spot today, but if you want that spot tomorrow, you better keep working.
It's very good advice.
Yeah.
So before we get into what's coming up, last point I want to really discuss with you is you say about the talented freshmen that we have and the sophomores coming in, we're going to be a young team.
Yeah.
So as a coach, how do you delineate, how do you manage some of this talent that's coming up and really kind of picking and choosing who's going to be in the starting lineup, who's going to be contributing? I mean, is there something in practice that you're looking for?
Yeah, honestly, it really started back to the off season. We went into the off season wanting our guys to really, really focus in the weight room. I mean, that was the main thing. I literally didn't get out any basketballs for the first 2 months after the season ended because I didn't want to focus on the basketball aspect. I wanted to focus on the strength aspect because that separates the upper echelon teams from those that aren't there is the strength factor, and we can work on the rest. So your effort and attitude in practice and games will really determine who we can trust as a coaching staff to put out there on the floor. You're gonna make mistakes because they're young.
Everyone
kids,
does,
and we're okay. We're okay with that. But how you react and respond to those and your maturity level will really depend on which young guys are ready to play at the varsity level.
Gotcha. So all you underclassmen out there, if you're going to watch Coach's show, you heard it from the coach. Get your head in practice and work hard. You might be getting that PT.
It's the secret weapon.
That's right. It's impressive in practice.
Right.
Awesome. So let's go head first into Madeira.
Yeah.
This is going to be our 7th season in a row. We started the season with them.
Yeah.
We're 3-3 over those 6 years that we've done. And we've barely outscored them. We've actually only outscored them by 22 points out of those 6 games. So last year we lost by 10.
Yeah.
We didn't come out of the chute very well.
Right.
Bryce Butler, we're losing Bryce Butler. We're losing, we discussed it a little bit. Micah Blythe, Damian Blythe, Mosai Daniel. I keep going on, but everyone's gone. We got Fresh that's coming in. We got Deshaunte Hawkins going to be a contributor. So what do you look at Madeira right now? What's going to be their game plan, and what's going to be your game plan?
Madeira's great to start with, for multiple reasons. They're a D3 school. They'll be in our sectional, and they're it's 2 teams of really contrasting styles of play. We really want to get out and go and pressure you, and get some easy buckets. And Madeira, they want to run their offense well. Get that ball, move side to side, and get it down low to their big kid. Yeah. And and score on you and pound you and really, make you run your stuff offensively when they're on defense. It's a great game because it almost feels like a tournament game because we both need it so early in the. Early in the season. How
do you feel about that? Starting out with a because they're ranked number, I believe, 4th in coaches poll.
Yeah.
They're D3.
They're gonna be solid. Madeira, they went through their little youth movement as well, and now those kids are starting to become veterans. They're the juniors and seniors and things like that. Kravitz's been playing on varsity team as a freshman. I remember 2 years ago he torched us as a freshman.
He did.
And so. He's only gotten bigger. He's only gotten stronger. He's if I'm correct, a Georgia Tech signee for football. He'll be a tight end in 2 years for
a D1 school,
for a D1
right?
ACC school. So it's great for our kids to go against that and to compete. And we've got to understand that he's going to get his buckets, but we can't allow the other guys to have career nights.
Okay.
We've got to be on their guards. We got to make them uncomfortable. We gotta hope that they give us the ball a couple of times.
A couple turnovers, work that game a little bit.
We can go lay it in, and take the pressure off of, get them out of their game plan where they've got to go away from their inside presence and start shooting, jump shots and threes and things like that. And I think we got a good shot.
Well, our post play is going to be, I think, a concern for you. We talked a little bit about it. Kravick, he's 6'5". You said the tallest person on your squad is going to be 6'5", and that's a freshman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what's your idea of combating that?
We've really, it's got to be a team. It's got to be a team effort. We don't have anyone that we can go out and say, hey, you go guard that big kid. But it's a team effort. We got to fight to get around, and we got to make them throw that ball over the top, and our guards come in come and snatch it away. And when we get there, we got to wall up and take charges and make any big guy that we play shoot over the top of us. I mean, there's not a lot of high school bigs that can make multiple moves and shoot over the top of guys on a consistent basis. So we do that and then go rebound the basketball. I think we're going to be all.
You going to be okay?
Yeah.
You feeling confident?
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah.
The confidence is there.
Right.
Well, they're losing Sam Weersing, who's taking, just like Sinjin, some hiatus for some baseball. He's getting looked at by Wright State, so you don't have that 6'5" Behemoth who dropped 20-some points on us last year, so that's something to be happy about.
Yeah, they got a couple of other kids that are moving up from the JV ranks. Not as big, obviously as Sam, was, but different types of players. They're able to pass the ball a little bit better, maybe shoot it a little bit better. So not that height and that girth that Sam had, but definitely some skill to give teams problems.
Cool. All right, well, let's good stuff on Madeira. Let's go and transition now to Seven Hills, because the next time we're going to see you is going to be a week from now, and we're probably not going to be talking about Seven Hills. And you played them on next Tuesday. I don't know how much time you've had invested in Seven Hills, but let's just talk briefly about that. Coming out of the gate for Madeira, for those 6 games that we talked about, you guys have averaged 66 points per game in those 6 games. In Seven Hills, and they're a conference opponent, we've played them 13 times. And out of those 13 games the past 6 years, we've averaged 57 points. So it seems like we come and start the season shooting well, but then we have a little bit of a drop-off. In Seven Hills, we only had 2 wins last year, and Madeira was 14-11. So it's kind of nice to have that drop-off, that little bit of a reprieve coming down the mountain right when you have that climax of let's get the energy out for the start of the season. Right? So any talk you want to say about Seven Hills? Have you looked at them at all?
We haven't really started our preparation of Seven Hills. We're focused, squarely on, Madeira at the moment. We will, Friday night, I'll start diving after the game. I'll start diving into Seven Hills. But, Willie, in their group, they're a lot like us. They had a ton of first year and young guys last year that were just playing varsity for the first time, and they're still young. I mean, their best player, Bryce Hill, is just a sophomore. It's so. You can
say the same about us.
Right, yeah. They're
outside of French, it's Hopkins.
They're young, and they're hungry, and Willie's always, one thing about it is he's always had his teams prepared defensively. I mean, they really will sit down and guard you and just make the game ugly, and that's probably, if you go back through the games, it's probably one of the main reason why you score 66 against Madeira and 50 against a Seven Hills. Just the games are ugly. Grind them out, grind them out games. Even the games from last year, the margins may have, been, more than normal, but we didn't score that many points. I think the first time we played them over there, I think we scored 47, 48 points. It just wasn't a lot of points. We were able to stop them, but scoring is hard, and they take care of the basketball, and they have no problem running a minute, 2 minutes off the clock, and when they cut the possessions down, then you're not going to score.
The way you talk about it reminds me a little bit of UC when they were in the Big East. Yeah. Remember, those big defensive battles? You go into the first game in the conference, you're like, who is this guy? And you don't score lots, going back and forth. And you're right, the first game last year, you only beat them by 8 points. Yeah. But then the next game, you beat them by double digits, 22 points. So in those 2 games combined, you beat them by 30 points. Yeah. But that, margin was so different.
Right, yeah. And, it's just a... it's every game takes a life of its own, and we obviously that first game last year was at their place. Second game was at our place. We get them first this year at our place, our home opener. So hopefully our guys will be juiced and and ready to go. And it's a conference game, and the best part about these guys out here, they don't know any better. I mean, that's the best thing about having young guys, is that they only know what I tell them. And so they're like sponges, soaking everything up. So
that must feel good as a coach,
awesome.
though, right?
Yeah, it's awesome because I just I'm giving them everything they know. No preconceived notions, none of this. No, I can do it this way. No, they do it the way that they're told to do it. So.
That's awesome. Well, let's hope tomorrow night at 7:30 at Madeira they listen to what they're told.
Oh yeah.
You get a win instead of a loss like last year. I'm feeling confident. I don't know. I have this.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Our kids, they respect Madeira, and I respect Madeira as well. But they don't have any preconceived notion. None of these kids really played against Madeira, so they don't know any better. So they just they're just another team, and that's how we won it the whole year. Regardless of what we're playing, it's just another team. Yeah. Well, let's get them hyped. Let's get them focused. I think you got them in a good position. 7:30 Madeira tomorrow night. It's Friday night. Go support your Clark Cougars. Let's just end it there. Hopefully that you have a great season. Check back in with us. We're going to do this every week or every other week. We're also going to hopefully do this with the women's basketball team as well. So check out our Twitter page. Check out our Facebook page. All these things, we're going to try to put them up, especially on YouTube. Coach Parker, I look forward to continue this during the season. You're very welcome, sir. Welcome back. It's basketball season. Yeah, I can't. Oh, dude, I'm ready. I'm pumped up. I'm amped up already. So for Coach Parker, my name is Patrick Lewis. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Coach's Corner.